living on wild and free.
Hey, welcome to Living High, Wild and Free. I am super pumped. I am out in the absolute middle of nowhere and loving it. Sorry about the wind. It is windy. I got my microphone tucked way down in my coat and I just can't stop the wind noise, so I apologize, but it will get better, I promise. So I am 70 kilometers, roughly 50 miles from any roads or any access points. This snowmobile here and this sleigh have all of my camping gear. I'll be out here for the next 5-ish days, pretty much until I run out of gasoline, or I run out of my reserve gasoline, and the only amount that I have to get back to town and propane. So I'm going to be out here loving the sunshine. It is about 6 degrees Celsius, and I think that's roughly 35, 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So beautiful, beautiful weather, beautiful conditions. I'm going to be mostly focusing on lake trout and doing some walleye fishing as well. This is a fairly large lake that has both, big numbers of lake trout and walleye. So I'm looking forward to exploring both of that. It's a new to me lake. I have yet to fish this lake, so I'm going to be putting the Livescope to test to finding structure, get the auger, get some of that snow off of the auger, get that going. I got the Livescope in here. This is just all my camera gear and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, beautiful, beautiful. I don't know if anybody's fished this lake at all this year. I did see some tracks coming in, so maybe, but yeah, I mean, virtually untouched, very remote, and I am very excited, so let's get into it. All right, got through without the auger extension. I can't believe it. I thought for sure I was gonna need this right here, but I did it. Wasn't even close, so that's sweet. All right, well, I have been traveling all around here, so I realized that this is actually a flat that goes way out there, and it looked like it just kept going. So I decided to come back here and check around a little bit more, and what I realized is, so that's where I first started filming, so that's my first hole right there, and I'm right here, so pretty close by. What I realized is, so that's 30 feet right there, flat, 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 drop off to about 60 feet right out there. I'm just gonna set up here. I typically like to fish for about 30 minutes to an hour just to see what's going on, but the sunlight is disappearing. I'm tired. It's been a long travel day. It's been about 8 hours of traveling with traveling with truck, unloading, packing everything up, and then snowmobiling out here. It's been a long day. I'm getting tired, so I'm just going to see how it goes. I don't know what the night's going to hold. I have caught trout at night on other lakes, so there's always a possibility that I might catch some lake trout tonight. Burbot are pretty likely. Walleye, I hope not. This is very deep for walleye, way too deep. Any walleyes that I catch will be likelihood of mortality very high because of barotrauma. So yeah, I'm gonna see what happens. I'll fish the morning in this spot. If I don't catch anything, then the weather should be nice enough that I can actually just hole hop around here, see what happens. If it's around early noon and I haven't really caught much, then I'm gonna move. I typically like to move every day anyways, unless if the fishing is just unreal. Then I'll usually stay for one more night just see what happens. Typically what I find is that the fish will have areas that they frequent. So you have certain individuals that are frequenting this area, on a daily basis. They become educated as you catch them, and then they don't bite anymore. So I typically like to move, interact with new individuals that are not as, wary, and then, hopefully have better fishing then. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is that I'm hungry, I'm tired, and the sun's going down, so it seems like a great time to just set up right here. All right, welcome to camp. I fished for probably about 2 hours. I got everything set up right at about sunset, so there was a little bit of light left, but not much like in the water or anything like that. So, not typically when lake trout are active. I fished for about 2 hours. I had one mark. That was it. I got everything set up, so pushed all the fishing gear to one side. I do use this as a heat source. I do not recommend it. This is dangerous. I do not run this at night. Never ever run just an open flame at night. That is incredibly dangerous. Do not recommend that, but that's what I do just because that's what I do. So don't do what I do, kind of thing. Got the sleeping bag all set up here. I did do a review on this. This is my Marmot CWM -40 sleeping bag. I just pulled it out of the sack, so it's still trying to come back and fluff up. This bag's now 6 years old, and I'm just starting to have issues with it where the insulation in some sections aren't fluffing up as much as they used to, and this water repellent layer isn't doing its job anymore. But for how cold it will be this trip, which I think the lowest temperatures are going to be around like -10, which is, close to about I think 15 degrees Fahrenheit, if I believe. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not worried about that. I have gotten cold in it when it was about -30 or like -20 degrees Fahrenheit on my last camping trip. I did get a little chilly, but it wasn't too bad. So it is starting to show its age. I've slept many nights in it. Like I put it to well use. I'm not upset about it at all. I think it's a great sleeping bag. And then underneath, I have my see that Thermarest, and then just a cot underneath that. That's my go-to sleeping setup. I'm gonna hit the hay, and we'll see you in the morning. Just making some coffee here. Got a beautiful sunrise going on out there. So for coffee, I like to use a pour over method. That's what I'm doing right now. I did do a video where I compared a bunch of different like camping coffee making methods. The pour over makes a good cup of coffee, and what I like about it is I can just fill up a whole thermos full in one shot. It just makes it a lot easier instead of making multiple cups of coffee in the day. So I can just do this once, and then I can get to fishing here. But I definitely need some caffeine before I put my hook in the water. I found that not very functional when I don't have caffeine in me, so there's lots of missed fish. For lake trout, I honestly don't know if bait really matters, but it's not that big of a deal to throw a little slice on there like that. See and maybe it does something. I mean, I find with lake trout, they tend to be more about just the action of the lure rather than like a walleye that's just sitting there kind of checking it out, they might actually be able to smell a little bit of the lure before they strike. Same with like a burbot. With lake trout, I mean, you're trying to keep the jig away from them. All right. Yeah. Uh-oh. Of course. Oh! God! Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Well, it's about 1 o'clock. Well, probably like 12:30, whatever. It's, around noon. Stayed around for a while after I caught that one trout. Thought I'd, give it a shot. Nothing, like not even a mark, nothing. Which, at midday, kind of typical, but it really didn't produce much this morning, so I'd rather go and explore other areas, try other spots out. I am loading up the sled here. Just the shack needs to come down now. Everything's empty out of the shack. Loading up the sled, getting ready basically to have all my fishing and camera gear in the sled here. That's easy to grab, all the camping gear in the sleigh, so that I'll tow the sleigh around, because I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to end up tonight. There is one more trout spot that I'd like to try out, or trout area. There's a couple of spots in a close area that I'd like to check out, like this afternoon. My concern right now is fuel. I burned just under half a tank coming out here. Snow conditions should improve, like it should deplete, so I'll probably burn less fuel. I'll have a little less weight probably without the fuel. The propane might be 50-70 pounds, I don't know, with the food and all that stuff, but nothing too dramatic. It'll be a slightly lighter load going back, and then the diminishing snow conditions should help things out. So I've got this 6-gallon tank right here. So I got, well, it's full, like it's really full. Overfilled it, so it's probably over 6 gallons. I need to leave roughly a gallon in for my auger. I really wish Strike Master and Honda still made these 4-stroke engines. I love it. I mean, to be able to just have my fuel, the same fuel that I'm putting in my sled, put it into the auger. It's so nice. I don't have to worry about mixing fuel. It's quieter. It does have less torque than a 2-stroke, but I really wish they brought it back. I love it. So I keep really good care of it, or I try to anyways, because as of right now they're discontinued. And yeah, so I'm going to fill it up. We'll see where I'm at with fuel, and that'll kind of decide. I might not even feel comfortable driving over to that other spot because of fuel. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and yeah, I need to get back. So it's something I got to think about. So yeah, fill her up, and we'll get to it. God, that looks like there's something out on the ice. It could just be a rock, but it is strange how it's sticking up. I wish I had my binoculars. I know the camera can't pick it up. My eyes can barely see it. So that's interesting. It's not really moving, so it must not be keeping my eye on it though. Just a wolf walking right out towards me. So, oh yeah, that reminds me, while I'm thinking about it, my experience, wildlife encounters is probably the least dangerous, at least in the winter. In the spring, like when calving season starts with moose, cubs with bears, that is probably when it is the most likely that you're going to have a negative wildlife encounter, at least here in northern Canada. In the winter, wolves, I have had interactions with wolves, but it was more of like a territorial thing rather. They weren't really even being aggressive. It was just like, hey, what, who are you? Like, what are you? Why are you here? I've had one time where a wolf led, it wasn't my dog, but a friend of mine's dog away from us, and they were likely going to kill it. But in no way did I feel like we were, being stalked or anything like that. I think it was they were purely after the dog. And then other times I've had them come into camp, come up to me, get close, and it never really felt like they were hunting me. And of course that's just my perception. They could have been. I asked, they didn't answer. They didn't say, hey, we're trying to kill you. I just felt like they were like, hey, what are you doing out here, kind of thing. Like, it was in really remote areas, and they're not used to having humans in that area, and they're just territorial animals, and so they're just kind of checking things out. So yeah, I mean, they're and that's really the only concern for this far north, is wolves at this time of year. So wolves, wildlife in the winter, really least of my concerns, to be honest with you. Hypothermia is on the utmost, and then just minor little accidents. Like, I had a friend once cut himself really bad on an auger. He was just trying to knock off the ice to help the auger cut better, and he slit his hand wide open, and it just, those kinds of, I just got goosebumps thinking about it, because it's like, whoo, yeah, 2 hours snowmobile ride away. That's honestly my biggest concerns, is hypothermia, getting into a situation where I become hypothermic, especially the later stages. If you don't know the stages of hypothermia, I have a video on it. That's how important I think it is. I've had 2 friends now pass away from hypothermia. So yeah, when you're out winter camping, if you're considering it, don't go by yourself. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm very experienced, and really educate yourself on the stages of hypothermia, because I think that is my major concern. Like, that's my utmost concern. Then minor mistakes. So I'm always trying to be mindful of my actions. And yeah, and then wildlife is way on the list. There's other stuff like CO poisoning, like having my tent become anoxic, and having no oxygen in the tent itself, without my knowledge, of course, because your body, you don't know that until, well, you fall asleep, and then you just don't wake up again. So those sorts of things, yeah, those are more of a concern than wildlife. I know, when people think like wilderness camping, you're out in the middle of nowhere, the boogeyman or Sasquatch are going to come and say hi. Highly unlikely, highly unlikely. It's very rare that I have interactions with wildlife in the winter, besides ravens or something, like dangerous wildlife interactions. It's really those simple mistakes and hypothermia that will get you. So yeah, I'm going to fill up the tank, and we'll see where we're at. All right, so I got, I don't know, a splash in here, probably half a gallon, maybe a little bit more, in the gas can here. And that's just for my auger. Honestly, on this trip, I doubt that I'll need any more fuel in the auger, but I'll just keep some out of the sled just in case I do burn through more fuel than I'm anticipating. And yeah, we're pretty much back to full. So I have, a couple of gallons to toot around with. It's more than I had originally anticipated. I am still getting used to the snowmobile. I was kind of nervous about it last night, to be honest with you. I was like, oh gosh, that seems a bit low. But now that I see that I basically have a full tank, and I need a 2/3 of a tank to get back. I still have about a gallon in here, so rough math is that I should be okay. So that's good. Alright, got updates. So I'm right on top of the hump here. This is 30 feet of water. That second hole out there is 40-ish feet, and then that's 60 feet where my auger and Livescope is. So I'm gonna go right to the 40-foot hole, give her a go. Alright, I got hooked up as soon as I dropped it down. Not a super big fish. Not a lot of weight to him, but as soon as I dropped it down, he just came up and smashed it. All right, maybe a little bit more weight than I thought. This is 30-pound braid with 25-pound fluoro as a leader, and ooh, there we go. Yeah, decent trout. Oh. There we go. Okay. Come on, buddy. Oh, work with me. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful colorations on that fish. Beautiful fish. Lots of life in them. Got hooked up again here. Just came out of nowhere and just smashed it. Probably about the same size trout. Oh, take this line drag as an oop. It doesn't feel like it has much weight. It's taking out a lot of drag. Oh, all right. Now this has a little bit more weight to it. Might be a little bit bigger of a trout. Come on. It does not want to come up that hole. Oh, gosh, it's just spinning down there. I'm gonna loosen up the drag a little bit. Yeah, this has some more weight to it. It's not a giant by any means. There's some air bubbles. There's its head. Yeah, that's a pretty big fish. Not too bad. Oop. Oh, I love the colors on these trout. Whoa, look at that. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful, beautiful colors. Sometimes, like in this circle, oh, beautiful, it just popped right out. Oh, yeah, that's what I like. Wow, look at that. Just a beautiful, beautiful fish. This is a lot better fishing. This is what I was more looking for. Yeah, much better. The other spot was kind of disappointing. Oh. We are hooked up again. Sorry I don't run my camera so I can catch like the strike or anything. It's just trying to conserve on battery. Actually, I set my rod down. This is yeah. I didn't adjust my drag yet. This is a big fish. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my God! Oh! Oh! Oh man! The amount of disappointment I'm feeling right now. Oh no! Oh God! Oh, that hurt. Literally, I'm like, oh, this is a big fish. And then it got done with its run. I'm guessing what happened is it turned its head up, like, back towards me, like back towards the hole really quick after it got done doing its big run. And I did not pull up the slack quick enough. Oh, oh no. We are hooked up to something halfway decent. This one out to, oh yeah, deeper water here. And, oh my gosh! Oh, man! Oh, God! Oh, no! Oh, he hooked, he got, oh, no! Oh! Oh! I was reaching down to, oh my gosh! The damn Vexlar. Oh, he's back on! He's back on! Oh! Oh gosh! Oh! Oh, come on. This has got to be the hook set here. This one's got to do it. Come on. Whew. Oh, come on, come on. Oh, there we go, there we go. Oh, yeah. Oh. Not as big as I was thinking, but wow. Literally gave me 3 opportunities. Beautiful, beautiful fish though. I don't see any blood. Even though I got it in the gills, I think it's gonna be okay. Gotta play, gotta play, gotta play. Oh gosh. It's something halfway decent anyways. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Don't like doing that. Don't enjoy having an animal suffer, especially when it's at my own hands. But there wasn't really anything I could do about it. All right, welcome to camp. I got it all set up. Got the dead stick down. Got the boots drying. Muck boots are great, but man, they trap a lot of moisture on the inside. Like my feet kind of sweat a little bit, and over time it really starts to build up. Got the batteries charging. I rigged this like adapter up that plugs into a 12 volt. It works really nice. Got, plenty of juice to charge all my camera gear and other electronics, like my phone and that sort of thing. I'm gonna get to dinner here. Mac and cheese with hot dogs is on the table. I do some stuff to spruce it up, like canned tomatoes and some onion and green pepper. And of course, you gotta have some Tabasco sauce too. I'm gonna show you how I do it. It's a really quick, easy meal that I think is real tasty. And it's, pretty nutritious. It's not too bad. Got some vitamins, got some protein, fat, carbohydrates. It's, it's a good winter camping meal. So let's get into it. So I've been just letting this simmer. I did add some, let's see if the camera will focus there, Montreal steak seasoning. For the people that are in the States, that's Chicago steak seasoning. It's basically the same thing.
So I've been just letting this sit on low heat and stirring it every once in a while for about 10-15 minutes now. I turn the heat off here because she is ready. All right, good morning. Bright and not so early morning. Got the old Livescope going. Not marking a lot. I'm set up in that, well, I'm in 35 feet of water, close to, right next to the drop-off. Marking a few fish here and there, but they're on the bottom. I don't know what they are. Just kind of cruising the bottom. Pretty decent marks. Maybe burbot. Maybe a walleye. Anyways, they're not interested in biting. I got some coffee going here. Definitely need some caffeine this morning. The northern lights were going really hard last night. It was about midnight, and I was already, tucked away in my sleeping bag. So I didn't feel like getting out the camera and setting that all up, and I don't really know how to, do the whole video capture for the northern lights, which, hindsight being 2020, wish I did learn, because I could have got some cool footage. But anyways, I got some not great photos that I'll probably share right now. And yeah, they're not good, but it just gives you an idea of what they look like last night. It was pretty cool. One of the more intense light shows I've seen, so that's awesome. Nice way to cap off the night. Gonna focus on trout for one more day. So this is what the God losing track. This is the third day. So one more day for trout, which would be today, and then tomorrow I'll switch over. So I'll fish for trout in the morning, like set up on a spot, hopefully, if I find one, for trout, and then I'm gonna switch to walleye. I'd really like to focus on walleye and try to, see where they're at. Oh, gosh, got one frisky trout here. Oh, it was small, but it's still down there. Actually, is it going to strike again? Yeah, it just struck. Oh, it got off again. It's small, whatever it is. I'm not heartbroken over this one. It was cool that it hit again. Oh, it came back. Oh, gosh. I thought it struck on the way down, but I think it was just, I don't know what it was. Oh, man, it keeps hitting. With these bigger rods. There we go. Oh! 3 times. Oh, gosh. See, this is what I mean. I need to have coffee. Oh, God, it came back. Man. Oh, there's another one. Bigger mark. Bigger mark. Not too much bigger, so I don't know, nothing crazy, but oh my god, there we go. That's a better hook set. I think I need to sharpen this hook. Oh yeah. Oh. Wow. Oh my god, I need to sharpen this hook. So I just like to use these files on a Leatherman. Just use the finer, coarse side. And just kind of not putting any pressure on it. And that's kind of the thing with these barbless, is that they have to be just absolutely razor sharp. Otherwise the fish can pop the hook very easily. So basically, I don't know how well the camera's going to be able to pick this up, but when I try to poke my finger with barely any pressure, it actually will go into my skin. That's usually about the point where I'm like, alright, that's good enough. So that's nice and sharp. Oh, God, I can't believe, I mean, I hooked those fish like, what, I had like 6 opportunities this morning. They gave me, I don't even know how many opportunities. Way too many. I mean, obviously could not handle the pressure of catching little trout. But yeah, it really, I mean, I know a fisherman can have all kinds of excuses, you know, the wrong rod and what, you know, I mean, I can come up with all kinds of excuses, but really, seriously, having a sharp hook makes a world of difference. Alright, we're hooked back up. Not a huge fish. Oh yeah. At least I got it up to the hole. I mean, what a world of difference that sharpening your hook makes, like I said. Whew. Yeah, just a little guy. Nothing crazy. Oh gosh. Woo. Oh, there you go, buddy. Woo. Oh God! I tried setting my rod down, and this fish just came out of nowhere and smashed it. Oh my God! I got my drag set really high. Oop. Probably about, oh, he popped out. It was about the same size. Nothing crazy. Super fun though, wow. Tried to set my rod down and he just smashed it. Wow. Comes another mark. Just cruising. Oh, he spotted it. He spotted my jig. Oh, another fish just came out of nowhere. Oh my God. This is crazy. Oh, this is a little bit bigger of a fish. Oh God. Maybe not. It's just crazy wild. I don't think it's much bigger. Oh. I can't see it. Yeah. Not too much bigger. Just a little bit bigger than that last one. Yeah, we're just gonna call that good. That was awesome, man. I marked another fish. I was dropping it down. The other fish saw it. It was coming up, and then this little guy just came out of nowhere. It was just a tiny little trout. I don't know if it showed up on camera very well, but just a little trout. Oh, this fish came out of nowhere. I was just sitting here jigging. Oh, God. It just came up and smashed it. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. It does not want to come up the hole, but it does not quite have the strength to peel drag. It's not the biggest fish. It's another littler fish, littler trout, little, but still fun and crazy aggressive. Oh, man, having these the gold washcloths or kitchen towels or whatever you want to call them, whatever household item this is, so nice in the shack. It's so nice to just be able to dry your hands out. Oh, got a flag. It's not taking any line. Haven't had a flag all day so far. Oh yeah, there's definitely a fish there. And haven't had any action. I was setting up the camera to kind of give an update. Be like, yeah, fish haven't been biting. Packing up camp, getting out of here. And then saw the flag was up. Didn't believe it at first. But it's hard to deny it when, you know, this is going on. It's feels like it's got some weight to it. Definitely nothing too big. Oh yeah, I can see it here. And oh, go. There we go. There we go. That was exciting. Right at the end of the time here anyways. We're just gonna take this. That was a nice way to end things at this spot. It's been a good spot just today. I mean, that was the first fish for hours. And it wasn't anything to get too excited about. Not that it was bad fish anyways, but it is yeah, time to get out of here. I'm going to pack up the snowmobile. I have camp all broken down and just need to pack up the sleigh and probably have about a mile and a half trek over to another spot. And yeah, just explore the area, figure out the topography of the area, and basically set up to get camp up again. It's a really nice day again. I mean, I'm honestly getting too hot in my wool pants. It's that nice of a day. So I'll probably fish all the way till sundown again. Just basically a repeat of yesterday. Yesterday was a phenomenal day. This morning was phenomenal. It's just been slow this last little bit here, so nice to end things like that, but it's time to hit the snowy trail.
Man, I do not, like, my Livescope's been doing this. If anybody has any solutions why, you know, the ice is not rocking, okay? So I don't know why it does that. If anybody has any suggestions, I've updated it, all that stuff. So any suggestions on how to fix that without having to like restart it all the time would be awesome. That structure is kind of interesting. I may actually want to go a little bit kind of back where my tracks are right there. About 25 to 50 feet it looks like is kind of the key transitional zone right there. Oop. Basically right there. I mean, this isn't a big trout, but at least it is a trout. Really haven't been marking anything. I didn't even mark this trout. It just came in and smashed my bait. I was like, man, how can there not be any trout here? This is such a good spot. I moved up a bit shallower to about 30 feet of water. Caught this little guy. Beautiful, beautiful trout. Look at that. Look at those colors. So beautiful. Alright, sorry the audio is probably not the best. I didn't have a chance to plug in my microphone. Oh, got off. It's been tough to make coffee because there's been lots of fish coming in. But, once again, having troubles hooking them. So, gonna freshen up this hook here. There's a fourth one. Oh, it hit while I was dropping it. Oh, it hit again. God, I literally opened up the bail and it hit again. Oh gosh. Just one. Oh, there we go. Ooh. Oh, God, man. I gotta get some coffee in me, man. I can't hook anything. Oh my gosh, I should just hang my rod up. Oh, God. They're giving me so many opportunities, I just can't do it. Oh, man. I think this tube just ripped apart down there. I probably don't have a tube anymore. I don't know what this is. It's small. It was cruising the bottom. It bit like a trout. Oh, it's a little walleye. Wow, it smashed this tube like it was a trout. Wow, that's crazy. It just came up and smashed this tube. This is a beautiful eater. I'm going to keep this fish here. Beautiful, beautiful walleye. Oh man, it looks tasty. I haven't had walleye in a long time. Oh yeah, it's going in my belly. It's going in my belly. All right, got a trout down there. Looks like a pretty decent mark. Nothing too crazy. Oop. Ah, hit it on the drop. Maybe I can get this one up the hole. I don't know. You know, it's been a humbling morning in trout fishing wise. Oop. Oh. Yeah, just a little trout. Little trout. Is that they flail around and they can hurt themselves. what's going on? Huh. There he goes. All right, I got the old dead stick bait defrosting. Temperatures are right around freezing. So I'm gonna go get the dead stick hole prepped up here. With really big fish, you need the 10 inches, all 10 inches of the hole. The likelihood of catching a really big fish on this lake is very low, but I like to be prepared. All right, sorry, I was not prepared at all to film. I did catch this nice trout. It's got a really interesting gash on its tail that I need to be really careful with here. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Oh, yeah, caught it on the dead rod. I was filleting up that walleye. Sorry about the wind noise, I don't have my microphone on or anything. I was filleting up that walleye and saw the fillet go up. Got him. Easy extraction from the hook. Really healthy fish. Awesome. I don't know, the dead rod seems to be the productive thing for these fish. They just seem pretty lethargic, not a lot of jigging. So yeah, I'm gonna put the dead rod back down and see what else happens, and I'll wear the camera so you guys don't miss out on the action. I literally just set this thing down. I just set it. I don't know if the fish is still there. Ooh, it's biting on it. See if the fish is there. I don't feel anything. Something's there. Oh yeah. This, ooh, it's got a little bit of weight to it. More than I was expecting anyways. Easy peasy. There we go. Nice. Alright, no more flags out there. Just been slowly packing up. Getting all my gear, getting some lunch going. Just getting ready for a productive afternoon. Got some beans and wieners with some onions in there. Classic. Classic for a reason, because it's tasty. Oh, first time I've looked at my face. Getting some sun. Some rosy cheeks going on there. Nice. Yeah, gonna switch over, focus on walleyes like I said earlier. I don't know where to go. No idea. Just gonna try popping around. That's the nice thing about the Livescope, just kind of work around islands, just see what kind of structure there is. Looking for 10 to 20 feet is my target area. And just go from there. I'm planning on just popping holes, going fast, just drilling. If I find a good spot, like a good topography, fish for a little bit, like 10 minutes maybe. If I don't catch a fish, keep moving on kind of thing. And yeah, just run and gun for the afternoon here and try to find a spot that I can set up camp on. Oh, never get tired of looking at that sunset. So beautiful. Well, as you can see, I'm getting way too much sun. Oh, oh my gosh. I should have brought out a buff. I didn't even think about it. It's you know, that time of year when, you know, I'm so used to not having any sunlight. Now there's, you know, a lot more sunlight, and with the sun beating down on the snow, you get, you know, some good tan lines there. Okay, all right. Well, I have been working my butt off. I didn't have any time to film or anything. I really wanted to just focus on popping holes. I've been popping holes like crazy, driving around, trying to find a spot here. I have a sneaking suspicion that the walleye are in shallow water, like where like in a bay area where there's higher water temperatures. I'm guessing that's where they've moved to, because I've been in areas where there should be some walleye kicking around. I just haven't caught any. So, but I wanted to be strategic about where I go, because like I said, with fuel being a little iffy, I wanted to cover where I've already been. So in this direction, this is where we've been fishing, and I've just been kind of working towards the portage. And as we go closer to the portage, there's shallower water up in that area. But I just wanted to kind of cover my bases, because I don't know where the walleye are. They could be in the deeper water. I didn't suspect they would be, but yeah, I just wanted to cover my bases. So what I've been doing here is I found a hump right out here. So just past my Vexlar, that's right there. So right there, there's a mound of snow. That's 6 feet of water. Over here is 25 feet of water. So there's, pretty good transition right there. So I fished there, I fished here, I fished over, nothing. No marks, nothing. And the sun started going down. As you can see, it's getting pretty late. It's going to get dark here pretty soon. So I was like, all right. So I popped out the auger and the Livescope, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to find, because this is all pretty shallow in here. It goes from 6 feet, kind of dips down, flats, down to 20, I mean, really good walleye. I mean, this area is pretty shallow back in here too. And then you have deep water, like right out there is 40 feet of water. So walleye, this is walleye. This should be a walleye factory right here at some point in the year. Maybe not this time in the year. I don't know. This is awesome. Like I was like, I was fishing all over this. I was like, how is there no fish here? I don't, I was dumbfounded. So anyways, right out there where the auger and the Livescope are is a 15-foot flat, and it's pretty rocky in there. And I was like, well, if I was a walleye, I'd want to be right here. There's going to be bait fish here, maybe. The sun is definitely starting to disappear, so I want to get set up before, like, get the tent set up before that happens. It's also getting cold. Wind is coming out of the north, and things are chilling off. Hey, good morning. It is the 5th day, right? Yeah, it's the 5th day. Today is the last full day that I'll be out here. Tomorrow I'm heading home, and tomorrow will be fish in the morning a little bit, but mostly I'll be packing and traveling. Like I said, it's about an 8-hour travel day for me. That includes the snowmobile ride, packing up the trailer and the truck, and then hitting the road, heading home. So yeah, it's a big day for me, big, long, full day of traveling. So today will be the last day that I get to really just focus on fishing and hopefully finding a spot to catch some walleye. It was pretty chilly out last night. The old sleeping bag is definitely showing its age. It's really, I mean, that's just sad. There's no loft, nothing. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in that it's just not doing good on this trip. I got a little bit chilly. At least my feet got a little bit chilly, so overall not too bad. But I guess I really can't complain. I have spent a lot, many
many nights in that sleeping bag. So I have got my penny's worth out of it, my money's worth out of it. But yeah, it's definitely probably had its last season here, which we're at the tail end of it, so at least it made it this far. Yeah, so this morning I just decided to sleep in because last night I fished for about a few hours, like while I was setting up the cod and eating food and that sort of thing. So I wasn't like fishing super hard, but I was keeping my eye on the graph. I had one mark come in, it was sitting there just staring at my jig, and I looked down and I saw it, so I started jigging and it was just like, it buggered off. So there's no fish around, basically. So I wasn't taking it too seriously. Like, it was dusk. Like, there's just a little sliver of sun. That's walleye. That's the time, So I just knew that if there wasn't any fish then, there wouldn't be any fish this morning. And I was like, whatever, I'm just going to sleep in, get some sleep, rest up, because yesterday was a big day, and, well, I'm just getting fatigued from the trip in general. Yeah, last night temperatures got down to, I'd say probably like 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Things got a little frosty. Everything's just getting all frosted up out here. 0 degrees Fahrenheit, that's like negative 20 degrees Celsius. So yeah, pretty chilly. The ice is cracking. It was cracking last night as it was cooling, and now that the sun's coming up and starting to heat up, it's cracking again. So just, which is cool. Like, it's so rewarding to find the fish. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I found them. But I just love exploring, like, finding this rocky area. Like, if I come back out here, I don't know, midwinter or whatever, maybe this rocky area will be holding fish. I don't know. It's just kind of cool to find out these areas, and so I know the lake better. I mean, that's kind of the fun thing, is like with the land, I can see the land. I know, we got rocky parts and trees and, some lowlands, all over here. But with the lake, I have no idea what's going on underneath. And it's just kind of fun to explore and check things out and see where are the fish congregating, where are they feeding, those sorts of things. It's just fun to explore those kinds of things. So it's not all about catching the fish, but it's just a fun reward when you do. You're like, oh yeah, like my theory worked out. I'm kind of smart, I feel validated. And then like yesterday, I'm like, oh God, like I thought they would be here. They're not here. What the heck? Like, oh, okay, I can come up with a new theory and be like, oh, well, it must be because water temperatures are cold out here, blah, 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 blah. So that's just all part of the fun for me. And yeah, that's the plan. I have to wait a little bit longer. It's still way too chilly out to fish outside. Everything's still, even with the sun beating down on it, everything's still really frosted up. And when you're fishing with braided line, which I am, the braid holds water, and then it brings it up to the air temperature, it freezes, and then it gets all iced up and you can't fish. So I have to kind of wait a little bit longer for either the sun to get stronger, well, I guess both, sun to get stronger and air temperatures to increase. There's no wind, so if it stays like that, or if the wind starts coming out of the south, it should it should warm things up and make it easier to fish. So yeah, I'm gonna hang out, drink some coffee, maybe watch a movie, podcast, whatever, and then I will start packing up here shortly, and then we'll just start popping holes. And I hope my theory's correct. I think it might be, maybe, we'll see, but to be determined. All right, I'll see you some other part of the lake over yonder. Hey, this is Studio Me. While I was packing down camp, I saw a critter close to a mile out running along the ice. It was way too far away to identify with a naked eye, but I filmed it to identify it later in the studio. Now I am incredibly excited because this is the first wolverine that I am aware of that has been ever filmed alive in the wild of Saskatchewan. The video may not be the best, but what an incredible moment to film such a rare and elusive critter. See you later, buddy. Thanks for coming by. Where are you going? Why are you leaving so soon? The day just got started. All right, well, see you later. Well, I am exhausted. I have been going here and there and everywhere, all over this bay around here. Going deeper, going shallow, going, doing this, doing that. Nothing. When I say nothing, I mean not even a mark. I am so tired. So many holes have been drilled. Way too much gas has been burned in that snowmobile. I am, I don't know. I've got some gasoline left in the spare tank there, probably a gallon-ish, probably like a gallon and a half. Ish. I gotta put my shades back on. But the gas in the snowmobile is gonna be real close when I get back to town. There's not gonna be any room for air on the drive back. Nothing. I mean, luckily the snowpack has gotten real hard. It's gonna be really hard on my back because doing this across the lake, like, that's not going to be fun. But it will help tremendously with fuel economy in the snowmobile. So I think I should only have, need to burn half a tank. So hopefully everything goes well and I'm not hitching hey, can you give me a ride? Kind of thing. So, because that doesn't happen. There's not too many people to do that with. What I decided is there's a point, underwater point coming off of that island, and I am right at the tip of it. I don't know. There was another spot over across the bay here that I felt was more promising. You go from about 30 feet in the center here, and on the other side there's this big shelf that's just a flat, and the flat's about 15 to 20 feet, and the water temperature goes from like 35 degrees to almost 40 degrees right at that flat. I fished it a couple of spots and it didn't produce any fish. It could just be timing. I was like, man, this should have fish in it, So I was debating about going over there, but it's even further of a drive. That's a little over a mile. And I was over here when I finally was like, all right, the sun's going down, it's leaving, and I need to set up camp here. And the other issue with the flat is it's a big flat. I mean, it's huge. It's like, from what I could tell, it's close, it's at least a few hundred, not even a few hundred yards. It's like 1,000 yards. It's like a kilometer. I don't know. I don't know where the end is. It's a huge flat. Where are the fish? I don't know. Am I going to spend all this time over there trying to figure out where the fish are? Probably not. I don't feel like it. So I thought, well, I might as well go to a spot that I feel like is likely. You have this nice point that comes out, and it's about 15 feet right here. Where my snowmobile is, it's 20 feet. Over there, it's 20 feet. And then it goes down to, who knows, 30-ish feet, maybe 40 feet. And kind of all around here is, decent bait fish territory. So,
you know, this is a little bit more centralized, right? Like I'm right on the point. If there's any fish coming from deeper water, I bet they're going to come in to this point first before they travel and go hunting elsewhere, right? So that's why I picked this spot. It's a nice pinpoint location that, because I don't know the lake at all, no idea. I really thought the warmer water was going to do the trick. I even went to where my last resort was actually over there. There's a river that flows in, so there's current, slight current, not a lot, just a little bit of current. And then there's shallow water, like it gets down to like the deepest I marked was like 20 feet, and it was really warm over there. Like the water was really warm. Nothing. Again, maybe they're probably over there somewhere, but it's a huge area. It's a huge flat. I can't be popping holes all over the place. I don't know where the fish are at. No clue. Nothing. So, we're here. What? I don't know. Anyways, I gotta stop jibber jabbering and mumbling and bumbling and get all this junk out of here. Actually, I'm gonna pull the snowmobile around a little bit closer and then get all the junk out. And yeah, I'll get you with some updates. All right, welcome to the humble abode. Got the Livescope rocking, the dead stick. Not marking much. Some bait fish. I'm thinking Cisco's. That's about it. Got the stuff that I do not want to freeze. The dry pantry. Charging. And got some dinner going on here. Oh, gosh. Oh, so good. Got just like a noodle mix from Bear Creek, and broccoli, green pepper, canned mushroom, and my secret to the whole meal is some canned venison. So good. So good. If you never had canned venison, I've got a video on how to make it. I'll put a link in the description. Awesome. It tastes so good. It's like eating a roast, that you've made all day, that's just been cooking all day. It's just plop right into the pan, out in the middle of nowhere. Super easy and so delicious. I'm drooling. I'm excited. Well, the end is here. Well, sort of. I still have to make it back, which is iffy. I have maybe a gallon or two to spare. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I don't have to turn back to pick up anything, because I probably won't do that. Yeah, I'm still getting used to the snowmobile, and I just thought the fuel consumption would be different, but it definitely sucked more fuel because of the snow conditions, which have improved. So got my fingers crossed that I'll actually make it back to my truck in one go without actually needing to flag somebody down to go get me some more fuel. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I do have enough fuel that I can get close enough to town that hopefully, I'll run into somebody. Anyways, yeah, last night, no fish. I mean, nothing. Like, I think I marked some Cisco's or something, like some sort of bait fish. That was about it. I did stay up way too late last night trying to figure out my camcorder to take some pictures of the northern lights, some actually like decent pictures. And I got a couple. I'll put them up on screen right now. But yeah, I stayed up way too late trying to figure that out. It was cool. It was a decent light show. It wasn't anything too crazy. But it was nice to get that done. And then this morning, I just had no energy. I mean, I've been going hard, popping holes and, you know, going all around, trying to find some Walters, which struck out on that. You know, whatever. It was fun. It was fun exploring, but I am a little bit bitter about it. I'm like, oh God, I've worked so hard. I didn't catch one fish. Oh man. So all my theories that I had, you know, just out the window. I have no idea where the walleye are. I'm thinking they're out deep because I caught that one in like 35 feet of water, but that's too deep. Like every single fish that I would have caught, I would have keep because it would have killed. Like it would have been dead. There would have been no way that it would have been a live mortality because of barotrauma. Like the pressure differences are just too great for walleye. So I just didn't want to fish deep at all. So I tried shallow and came up with bupkis. So yeah, that was really it. I took it easy this morning, so it is way too late in the day. I should have been on the trail a long time ago, but you know, here we are. It's going to be a late night, but that's okay. I don't have to set up camp or anything like that when I get home. Yeah, it's been a great trip. This morning was kind of a reflection for me of how great the weather was, how beautiful the landscape is. How, you know, during certain days, like the trout fishing was phenomenal. It was a great time trout fishing, and just how much of a privilege it is to be in the wilderness and have the equipment to be able to travel out to such remote areas where very few people have seen them and experienced them and be kind of immersed in that. It just, I mean, it's what I love to do, and I love to showcase it. And so if you've made it this far in the video, thank you. Thanks for being a kindred spirit and being so, having the wilderness be such an important thing to you. And I hope that you can get out and experience such beauty and ruggedness like it is right here. So yeah, just so grateful. Such a great trip. I still have quite a ways to go with the snowmobile. I've only gone a couple of miles here, so we'll see. Again, the trip's not over with. I do have some cool stuff that I want to showcase on the way back that I wasn't able to do so just because of timing on the way out. So yeah, we'll have some cool footage from that hopefully, and then yeah, hopefully I'll, you know, showcase the traveling and then see you back at the truck loading up before sundown. Is it gonna happen? Oh God, I hope so. Oh, I hope so. But a little tip, at least with my setup, the way that I choose to do it with the parachute cord and lacing it back and forth with the carabiners, is I like to drive for a couple of miles and then stop and tighten everything down. So I'm going to just kind of show you how I do that. And basically once everything's kind of been bounced around and situated and then I tighten everything back up, I find that it typically stays tight the whole trip. Like I don't really have to tighten it down again. I do check just in case that, you know, things start to loosen up and I don't want anything flying out kind of thing, because again, not that much fuel. So I'm going to show you how I do it. And yeah, then we're going to hit the trail and keep on cooking. Sunlight is burning and I got a long... All right, I have a self-tightening slip knot here. I've shown this in the review video of this sled. I'll put the link in the description of this video so you can check it out. It's a great knot, one of the most handy knots that I use a lot, not just for this, but with other things where it's nice to have a slip knot that also tightens down. So basically I just start at the end and I just pull on every single loop. You can see the slack's coming out of the parachute cord here. Just like that. Like so. You see how much slack I've already got. And then, This is what the great thing about this knot is. I can just do that, and now everything's tight. Everything looks great. Just like that. That's all we got to do. And I am gonna boogaloo because I should have been gone a long time ago.
living on wild and free. Living high as an eagle fly, diving deep into the wild.
Sorry to interrupt this sweet drone footage montage, but I wanted to do a quick PSA on ice heaves. This is an area of the ice, typically on large bodies of water, where the ice pushes together and forms large cracks. As you can see, these large cracks will pool with water, and while these areas of open water are obvious in this circumstance, in other circumstances it will appear frozen and solid enough to drive on, where in reality the ice is freshly formed and not thick enough to carry substantial weight. Okay, that's enough safety for now, let's get back to it. Well, we made it. Had plenty of fuel left. Burned about a little less than half a tank this time. I think it's really interesting. I'm guessing I'm equating it to density of snowpack. That when I came out, it was very loose. Hence the track was slipping a lot, trying to grab traction. And now that we've had quite a bit of melt, the density of the snow is much greater, so less slippage. So I have to keep that in mind for future trips, because I would have liked to cover a lot more of the lake than I did. I was very limited based on, I thought, fuel. So next time, hopefully be able to travel more, and I'm still going to bring more fuel too, just because why not? Yeah, I'm going to get the snowmobile all packed up and tied down and hit the road, because I still have quite a bit to go. But thanks for joining me. It's been just an amazing trip. I'm so grateful that I get this opportunity and that I get to share it with you. Please subscribe. There's going to be a lot more trips and adventures to come. And as always, keep living high, wild, and free.